What is up, everyone? It is Derek Vandalinder here, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to use the stop loss and take profit for divergence. So this video, I'm just going to walk you straight through it, be as basic as I can possibly be, but also give you really good examples within this video, okay? So I want to thank you guys for being here. I'm super stoked. After this video, you should have everything that you need to know about how to set your stop loss and take profit for divergence, okay? So when I'm setting my stop loss for divergence, when there's no low in sight, I use the Fibonacci Extension tool. Now this is just exactly how I use it when I'm trading the shark fin, okay? And there's no low in sight. So I start the Fibonacci extension at the previous high to the previous retracement high, and then to the entry, okay? So, and then back to the previous retracement high. So let me show you how. It's hard to explain it when there's not a visual. So right here, we'll start it at the previous retracement high here. So that's how you're gonna place it, from the previous retracement high to where I'm gonna enter, which is right here based on this divergence. And you look left, we had a major structure area right here. So step one right here. Step two, you're gonna place it at the previous, or where you're gonna take the trade. So we start with Fibonacci extension one right here. Step two, where our entry is gonna be placed, okay? And then step three, as you can see, this is our trade that took profit, okay? So that's how it was right there. Very simple trade. We had the shark fin below the 25. We had the divergence right there, and we had major structure. Now, on that trade as well, we had a shark fin on the 4-hour on this major structure, and that's why that trade was taken, based on that divergence right there. So that's very important to take note in. Again, we had that confluence in this trade, and that's why this trade would have been taken, okay? So when setting my take profit for divergence, I'll use areas of resistance for my take profit. So if there's a key area in the market where I think the market's going to reject, that's typically where I'm going to take my profit, okay? Oftentimes though, the market after a really good divergence is always going to make its way back to the 50 moving average. And I'm going to show you right now. So right here, we have that major divergence. We had the shark fin below the 25, came down, made that retracement, made a low right here off that structural area. I'm going to take a buy based on that right there. Now, if you look left, the market had a tough time rejecting this area right here. So I'm going to place my take profit around this area where the market had a tough time breaking through. And let's see how it played out here. So to be honest with you, I probably would have taken profit at the 50 moving average, especially if we were showing hidden divergence in this range right here, because it looks like it was a trend line, whatnot. This is just where I would have taken my taken my profit, right in this region right there. So it's discretionary for me, very discretionary. If there's a reason I should be out of the trade, I'm going to be out of the trade. Now, as you can see right here, watch the market reject this area. So it's rejecting this area pretty heavily. We get that initial shark fin right here. We come down, we buy it off this area in here, and look how it plays out. Plays to this area perfectly, this rejection area right in there before it reverses back, okay? So that's just an example of why I do my take profit how I do. It's usually based on a reason why the market could possibly do something, okay? So when I'm setting my stop loss for divergence, when there is no low in sight, I use the Fibonacci Extension tool. I start the Fibonacci from the previous retracement low to the entry back to the previous retracement low, okay? So let me show you how I do that. So right here, this is the clear previous retracement right here. So I'm going to start my Fibonacci extension from that area right here. Now, if we look left, there was a major reason why we should have been in this trade at this divergence right here. So step one, to the previous retracement low. Step two, to where I'm going to enter this trade, which is right here based on this divergence, and the market lined up how I needed it to. Okay, so then we have our Fibonacci extension laid out. Now, of course, again, step 1 from the previous retracement, step 2 to the previous high, back to this retracement low right there. And that's how you're gonna get your Fibonacci extension to show these numbers right here. So in this case, because we have this major area of structure in here, this is where I'm gonna set my take profit, and you're gonna learn about this more later in this video, but the stop loss. So in this case, I will put, remember, we have to have the 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. But in this case, and I'd say probably 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna place my stop loss above the 1272 in this type of move. It depends on where our most previous structure is and where I think that the market is going to go. That is what my take profit is based on, and it's also based on where my stop loss is gonna be. So if I don't think my take profit's gonna go that far, then that means I have to make my stop loss smaller, okay? So as you can see, market rejected right off that area and made it to that retracement before having a tough time breaking this area, and that's exactly why I put my stop loss right in this region. Now, again, there's gonna be so many different things on putting your stop loss in profit when you get to a certain point in the market. You should understand this by now, but that's exactly how I placed my stop loss. This was probably a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio trade, and it played out beautifully. So setting my take profit for a bullish divergence. So when I'm setting my take profit for divergence, I will use areas of resistance for my take profit. Oftentimes, after a really good divergence move, the market's gonna head to the 50 moving average at least, okay? So let me show you how right there. So this, again, clear structure. We could not break through this level for the longest time. We finally broke through it. So when we get that retracement back to this area, I'm definitely gonna be out of that trade, but that's where my take profit's gonna go based on this resistance now turned support, okay? Right in there, that's exactly how I'd have it set up. Now, again, if there's things telling me that I shouldn't maybe be in this trade and exit early, I will exit early, okay? Again, the cool thing about my trade setups is that we get relatively not a whole lot of drawdown, which makes it really nice. And that way we can keep our stop losses pretty dang small and our risk to reward ratio really nice. So that's exactly how I place my stop loss and take profit for divergence. Now in this next video, you're gonna learn how I manage my divergence trade. If you like this video, please comment below, hit that bell button, and please subscribe to my channel. Now we're gonna see you in that trade management video.
Be pulling up. Remember they said I'm not good enough. I took all the energy, turned it to greatness. Now look at my life, man, it's looking amazing.